In this video we are going to look at finishing off our main menu, making sure all the buttons are can be clicked onto something else. I'll show you a basic first step of this, and then you can leave this on in whatever way you need to use them. Then we will also look at a pause menu similar to what we've just done, but slightly different in some ways. So to begin with, we'll finish off the main menu. So to begin, open the menu display. So the main menu test widget, so that we designed just earlier in the other video. And then on one of the buttons, just want to go onto it. And down here we have an on clicked. So if we press the add, this will open up this graph, event graph with the button here. So we notice the new game button. Okay, so what do we want to do with that? So we want this to open the first level. Yeah, so we need it to quit game, and that will force the quitting from the game. So we just save that. If we just press play now, open the kind of levels one, switch to the levels menu. If I press new game, it takes us into the game. And if I press quit, it quits. So they all work. So obviously that'll be different depending on what you need, but like I said, all that is the main menu setup, and if you want to set up any other menus, you do the exact same thing in a separate widget and just add what you need, the buttons, the text, whatever it is. Okay, so next is the pause menu, and this will be linking towards the inventory menu, which I will probably look at in another video of how the inventory actually works, but you can definitely set up the menu to appear. So what we're going to look at is creating a pause menu widget. So again, same sort of thing. Now with the pause menu, I like to have a little bit of a gap between my menu and the actual screen size, so I can see the level behind it, so it just appears above the level. It's not actually covering the screen completely, but that is completely up to yourselves. And on here I just have a resume button and a quit button. So in that resume button, if we look at the graph, we have the quit game like on the other menu, and it's exactly the same. And then we have a resume button, which again you'll need to create all the buttons designed for in Photoshop like in the previous videos. Now what this is going to do, it's going to set the mouse cursor to be turned off and connect that to the player controller, because now we're inside a level, so this is going to connect to the actual controller. We want it to switch between having the mouse on screen and then off screen when we are going back into the game. And then we also want it to remove the widget of the pause menu, so we want the pause menu to come on and off. So once you've set that up, I'll leave that on screen. You may want to pause here just to check that. And obviously you've got your menu set up, everything like that. This would be the same with the inventory menu. You'd have a resume thing, remove the widgets if you have a resume button on there. Otherwise you can key it in, which we're going to look at next. Save all, just save that. Next you want to go to your settings, your project settings, and we're actually going to create some new inputs. So we've done inputs before, but we're going to create one for the pause menu, and then if you have an inventory menu you may have one for that as well. So I've just set up the inventory menu to I and the pause menu to tab. This can be whatever you want, whatever you feel is most it's going to work best for your game. And so once these are set up, it means we can access them in the inputs. So if we go into our game, go into your character, which you should have set up by now. So this is a slightly different file to what I've used in previous videos, but have a character. that's not much different. So again, it's got the moving, the rotation, the jump. The action isn't set up yet, but here we have the important bit. So we need to set it up so we've got the pause menu appearing. So what we have here is a few things. So we have an input action. So I'm just going to recreate this. So I will delete this and recreate it. So I actually have this on screen here. So again, you may want to take a screenshot of this, pause it, whatever you want to do, just so you can see it. Basically what this is the input of the pause. So when the button is pressed, whatever you've set that to, so mine is tab, it will ask a branch, is the pause menu open? So you need to create a variable. It's just a plain Boolean variable of is the pause menu open? If the pause menu is open, then when that button is pressed, it's going to turn the mouse cursor off and then remove the widget and set the pause menu to not being on. Basically, this means that you can use the tab button to turn this menu on and off without actually having to use any buttons, resume buttons, things like that. So again, this is doing the exact same thing as the resume button we just looked at, and then it's setting the pause open to not. If the pause open isn't on, which it would be set to here when it's in the normal game, it's false. So then when it is pressed, when the tab's pressed, the pause button is pressed, it will cause the pause menu to appear. So we're just adding this to viewport. We will set the mouse cursor on, and then we will set the pause menu to being open. So then when it asks this question again, it knows the pause menu is open and to close it. So let's make this. So we're looking for the pause menu input. So action events pause menu. Got this. Then we want a branch from the pressed. The condition I have set up the pause menu is open, so I'm going to drag this in. Get the pause menu. Like I said, we've set plenty of variables by now, so you should be able to make these quite quickly. Very similar system for the inventory button here, as you can see. So it's just going to add the inventory menu widget and ask if that's open or closed. So then from the true, we want, check it again, that's what I was looking for. Show mouse cursor, and I'll get that. So show mouse cursor isn't coming up straight away, so we need the get player controller. So if I just right click here,